right, we are back in session, and is that Mr. John Scott?
Yes, ma'am.
Introduce yourself, tell us your name and your GOC.
Name and number. John Henry Scott Jr., 750028.
Scott, let me just acknowledge that we have some folks who have joined us today. Here in support, we have your brother Edward Scott, your sister Vanessa Scott, your dad John Scott Sr., Brenda Scott, and Philip. Your dad, your brother, and your sister have indicated they want to speak on your behalf. So we'll call on them to do so at the appropriate time. We also have Miss Felicia Winbush, the mother, who will be here with you as well. First, I'll read some identifying information. Yes, we confirm it, then we'll begin the interview process with you. So, Mr. Scott, you're classified second felony offender. You are currently serving a 15-year sentence. You were sentenced in Raccoon Parish for vehicular homicide and first-degree vehicular injury. Have a parole eligibility date August 16th. Have a time date February 22nd, 2024. Full-time date November 16th, 30. That information correct?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Scott, your case has been assigned to me, so I'll take the lead on the interview. Miss, how old are you, sir?
How old are you? I'll be 48 next Thursday. I'm 47 at the moment. Be 48 on the 13th of April.
Okay, and how long have you been in jail?
3 years and 6 months.
3.5 years of a 15. And in that 3.5 years, what kind of programs have you been able to accomplish?
I've sent you the folder that I was wondering, did you receive it?
Yes. You want to
Yes,
state it? I just want you to tell us on the record some of the programs. Or I tell you what, we do have the list. Tell us which program was the most important to you and why.
Well, the programs that was most important is the self-improvement and the mentor and the rehabilitation, because I mean I've so many different ways of life and experiences to where it's just I've learned so much. I'm sorry, and I apologize for putting everyone through this situation. All their family, their loved ones, my loved ones. Speak on your program. On my program. Could I go through my tablet, please, because of my memory?
I tell you what, we're going to move on. I heard I gave you that opportunity. Let's talk about when this crime occurred. What were you under the influence of?
Alcohol. I had alcohol in my system. I did have alcohol in my system.
Are you drunk?
No, ma'am.
When did you, what were you drinking?
I'm sorry.
What was the alcohol? What kind of alcohol?
I had a beer. I went to, I was seeing my brother because I was leaving the next day, and I went to go visit him. He was at a friend's at the barber shop, and I just had a beer at the barber shop.
Was there anything else other than alcohol in your system?
Not at that time in that day. No, I did not drink anything.
Did you use drugs?
I smoked marijuana, and that was because I'm from California, and I have a medical card for my PSD and epilepsy, and that was it. Otherwise, no other drugs.
So there was a bottle of vodka found in your vehicle.
Yeah, that was from the day before. It was in there. It was in there. It was from the day before. Cause I was leaving the day after. So the day before that day of the situation, I did do some drinking and things with my female friend that night. And that was just in the car, the bottle that was left in the car. I mean,
So the day before you were drinking and driving as well.
no, I wasn't driving. I was at my female's friend's house. I stayed the night. That's who I was staying with. I stayed the night at her house. I was with her. I was at her house.
All right. You do have opposition from the judge. Well, I'm sorry, the sentencing judge is unopposed, but you have opposition from the prosecutor's office and law enforcement to any consideration for early release. And the record indicates that you want to, your transition plan, whenever you get out of jail, which you have a good time date in February, would be to go to California with your parents.
Yes, because of my health issues, if that would be my best, I want to go back home and stay with my parents because I have to have someone with me at all times because of my epilepsy, my seizures.
And that was as a result of an injury while you were working for the fire department?
Yes, I was fighting a fire and the ceiling collapsed on me and caused head trauma and second-degree burns, and I've been having seizures and health issues since then, yes.
So what kind of medications do you take on a weekly?
I'm on the Lamictal and Lamictal 100 and Keppers.
What's the next one?
Both of them are for seizures.
Okay. All right. Is there any other questions, my colleague? I don't have any other questions of Mr. Scott. Warden, is there anything you add?
Yes, Ms. Renata, the only thing that I would recommend, and we spoke about that, is that he would take the victim impact course so he can better understand what victims and his family have gone through.
If I may, the victim, it starts on the 24th. Did the research?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We're gonna move on. I want to hear from the folks who are here in support. I'd like to hear from your brother, Mr. Edward Scott.
How are you guys doing today?
Okay.
I would first off like to start by saying I'm praying for all parties involved in this incident that's going on. Missing my brother, knowing that the situation that occurred is not of his typical or normal character. He has always been an inspiration for me and guiding me into doing what I'm doing currently, which is helping the community in which I live to the best of my capacity. And just praying for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Vanessa?
Good morning. First of all, I also want to say that me and my entire family, we've been praying for the victim's family. This is something that, you know, we know that the family is going through, but we hurt for the family also because my brother has always been someone that has helped build up people. He's always been involved in the community, especially with the kids. He's umpired all different type of sports. He's always spoke with the kids in the community. So for this being a part of his character, or him even being involved in something like this, it's not who he is. It's not who he is. And sometimes due to his seizures, he has no control of, the situation at the time. And as of today, still, my brother, before the situation happened, he was working at the oil refinery here, and he's still receiving letters because he's a hard worker. He's a very hard worker, and he's receiving letters from them as of today because they want him to come in and do some assignments. So that'll be something that he'll have to look forward to in regards to keep himself busy. Once again, we're praying for the victim's family. We know that they're hurting, and it hurts us to know that our brother was the one that caused this pain for them. And my brother also, hurts. He's expressed over and over and over again how he just wished that, things could have happened differently. And if you guys were to release him to us, we're very close family, very family oriented. And my parents has been married for 50 years this year, excuse me. And all his siblings will be here to support him in any way that we can, anyway, whatever is needed to get him here. And we just want to thank you guys for giving him the opportunity to come before you, to even be looked at as to be paroled or pardoned. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you. We appreciate your remarks. And then we'd like to hear from Mr. John Scott Senior.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to say, first of all, I feel for the victim's family. Believe me, I know how they feel. I lost my youngest son through violence. My son, he's always been uplifting to everyone else. Like my daughter said, he's always helped children in all types of sports programs. He's a hard worker. He's worked in refineries. The situation that happened, it was out of his control. It was a physical situation that he didn't have control of due to a seizure. We will support him in every way we can when he comes home. Hopefully you all will grant that for him. I appreciate the time, and may God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate all your input. Now we're going to hear from the victim's mother, Ms. Winbush. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Miss Felicia. I'm Darlisa Smith's mother, and I'm Makai Smith's grandmother. I don't want him out right now. I know he's gonna have a time to get out. He's gonna get out. He's gonna live the rest of his life. My daughter and grandson do not have a choice to live the rest of their lives. On tomorrow will be 5 years that we buried him. That's 5 years ago. My daughter was preparing for Easter to pick the kids up from my house, and they were heading home. 15 minutes later, my daughter was gone, and 3 hours later, my grandson was gone. Now they saying that he had a thing. No, he was drunk. I'm not against nobody drinking, but when you drinking and driving and you drunk, that's another thing. This has torn our family apart. This is the life that I don't want no parent to live right here. Seeing two caskets in a turnaround at the church and getting two death certificates. And my granddaughter, she survived it. Now we're raising our granddaughter. And it's hard raising grandchildren without their parents being there. Malia was almost like a orphan after her mom and brother passed. She will never have a mother again. She will never have a brother, her baby brother. She loved her baby brother and she loved her mom. Malia is doing well. She's an AB honor roll student. She's in 8th grade. She'll be 9th grade going to high school next year. But and as far as Mr. the offender, he knew the consequences because he was a firefighter. He knew he's been on the scene several times of drunk drivers and the impact of what it does. This was totally unavoidable. And these sanctions for these drunk drivers, they need to change because it's just a slap on the wrist. It really is. It really is. And this is the worst living I've ever had to deal with. Losing 2 children at one time. If when he gets out, I know he's gonna get out. When he gets out, I don't want him living in the same vicinity as me because I saw him 2 weeks after he killed my children at Walgreens. He damn near knocked me over trying to get to Walgreens pharmacy. He didn't even know but I knew who he was. I knew who he was. He didn't even care who I was to know that who children he killed. Parents, but I knew who he was.
Yes, ma'am.
When he gets out, like I said, I don't want him near where we live at because I don't want to be able to see someone who killed 2 of my children just walking the streets and having their lives, continuing their lives and everything. And I miss my children.
Yes, ma'am.
And everyone who I talked to about this guy, he is a very arrogant person. When we gave our victim impact statement in the courtroom, he just sat there like we was reading a story. And it didn't faze him at all. And when the judge gave him the opportunity to say anything, he did not say anything. But he's supposed to have been a person of the community, help with kids with the sports and everything. Yes, I remember you at the baseball of the field with the football. Yeah, I remember you, but guess what? My grandson not gonna have a chance. He loves football, baseball, basketball.
English, can you wrap it up? Please, Sam. Wrap it for us, please, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Scott, is there a brief statement you'd like to make?
Yes, I'd like to say that I'm sorry. I apologize for putting everyone through this situation, their family and loved ones, also my loved ones. I pray faithfully for everyone that is affected by my situation. I have recognized my decision making and my past was not the right ones. I am a new person through this experience. And I just ask that everybody know that I am a new man and I'm sorry and I apologize. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. All right, I think we are prepared to vote, and I'll be voting first. And I'm not sure, I think I mentioned that you had opposition from the sheriff, the chief of police, and the district attorney's office. Mr. Scott, I don't think you were very forthcoming at all with us about what actually happened that day. I do believe you were drunk. To seize your story is nowhere in the record that I can see. The things that you said are not supported by the record. I don't believe you served sufficient time for killing 2 people. You have a good time date, which is just a few months away in February. I do agree with Warden Bordelon. You have an urgent need to take a victim awareness class. Urgent. My vote today is to deny parole with that recommendation that you do enroll prior to your good time date and be sure to take the victim awareness class. And I will ask that conditions be added to your good time release certificate. And that will be that you have absolutely no contact with the victim's family, that you do not reside in Rapides Parish, so you'll have to go to California, that and you will be required to have an ignition interlock device on any vehicle you drive. I'm not so sure you should be driving if you're on the seizure medication, but that's my vote. Mr. Rocha.
Mr. Scott. I believe that you are camouflage back. You were not very honest this morning. And based on a victim opposition and opposition from law enforcement, I would deny your request, but I agree with all conditions that Mrs. Renard has put on your good time release.
Mr. Freeman.
I agree with my colleague due to the fact that I do not think you have served enough time for two fatalities. And I think you could have been a lot more forthcoming. My vote is also to deny.
All right, Mr. Scott, this morning your parole's been denied. I want to thank everybody who participated in today's proceeding. Warden Bordelon, I think that concludes our business at your facility. We're going to adjourn. It's 9:52. Thanks so much for accommodating us.
Thank you.